What's up? It's a video about the most homeless place in America.
This is the most homeless place in America per capita. Washington, D.C., where prosperity meets power, where history mingles with modernity. To outsiders, the city may seem to be the example of achievement and opportunity. But is it really? Homelessness is a huge problem in Washington. A crisis of homelessness. Do you think D.C. is doing a good job of combating the issue of homelessness?
Wasn't the mayor just given $50 billion to deal with the homeless situation?
Where's that money?
It's a very good system. You just have bad players in here.
What's up, everybody? We are currently in Washington, D.C., the most homeless place in America per capita. I'm with my good friend Tommy G. We're at McPherson Square right now, which used to be a hub of homelessness.
More than 70 people are now living in the McPherson Square camp.
As you can see, it's cleared out. It's fenced off. There's no one here anymore. But recently, this was a tent city.
Today, dozens experiencing homelessness were forced out of McPherson Square.
And we're going to find out today what life is like here in D.C., the most homeless place in America.
Healthcare has always been a passion for me. Honestly, I just have a big heart for it. This is the beginning of my.
This is known as one of the most homeless places per capita in the country.
Right.
Does that surprise you?
No. This is the only place where you can use your voice heard. There are good people out here.
Why do you think this is the most homeless place per capita?
Because there's a lot of opportunities here. There's a lot more compassion and empathy here, too. You have people in other states that just walk up to you and say, die. I chose to come here. You know what brought me here? About PTSD. I was scared of bridges. I used to live under that bridge. And I was tired of being scared of bridges. I was in the first Gulf War, the one that counted.
We heard the veterans could get apartments for free around here. Is that true?
Yeah, it's very true.
So what keeps you from getting a free apartment rather than staying out here?
I have an apartment.
Are you still staying in a tent out here?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why not? I mean,
Let me tell you why homelessness in metropolitan cities would never be fixed. You got regular unemployment, you had the pandemic unemployment. Every homeless person out here is getting $785. You would think that every homeless person out here would be in a house by now. On top of the free money,
right.
you got free clothes, shelter provided to you, the city gives you tents for free, the churches to come out every Saturday and Sunday, you give out gift cards and all of these things, right? 90% of that is dispersed, goes back into drugs. We're homeless by choice.
Next,
They
we
are.
spoke to a man who
Hey.
had been living in Fort Reno.
At least somebody knows that they homeless by choice, cause that's ridiculous. That's
Park,
ridiculous.
but was
That
recently
much money,
displaced by
y'all
the
still
homeless
ain't got
camp
nowhere to go?
cleanups.
On December 16th,
Huh.
Department of Human Services, National Park Services, and Park Police came and evicted all of us. There was a 68-year-old man, there was a pregnant girl, and a guy who was trying to kick heroin. So 70 people were displaced. Okay, how many of those got apartments?
I'm not sure.
No, though.
3.
We've been told by several people that free housing was very good. Do you disagree with that?
I'm on the voucher list. I've been on it for 6 months now. Just everything's starting to roll. They want to re-displace me. I've already been displaced. They want to displace me even more. And the question remains, where are we supposed to go?
With nowhere to go, many homeless people sought shelter within tent cities, hidden in the woods. Behind me right now is probably the closest thing to a tent city that we found. It's pretty camouflaged by the trees and the brush. It's hard to see from the road. It's hard to know this would even be here. We have several tents layered with tarps. We got big 5-gallon jugs of water right there, coolers to keep things cold. And right here, you have a baseball bat. I guess you could assume this could be for protection. And it just keeps going back. Laundry bins. If found, please return to Amsterdam Hall. Over here we have a scooter that is being used as a laundry rack.
You gotta get this message out. It's not just they're thinking that if you close down an encampment, okay, one, where are the people going to go? Okay, two, look at the message they made of the encampment closure so far. Noma, they killed someone.
In the Noma neighborhood, city crews were clearing tents there when people on scene say a small bulldozer started to clear a tent with a man still inside.
They don't know where half of those people are. The government relies on Miriam's Kitchen and other private organizations like Georgetown Ministry, to do the heavy work. Wasn't the mayor just given $50 billion to deal with the homeless situation? Where's that money? Affordable housing is now a reality in today's economic society. I mean, and they say, get a job. Okay, I'll get a job. My problem is keeping the job. I mean, honestly, it's not just society, it's also me. We're the voice of the city.
True, I feel that.
That's the reason why they're trying to get rid of us. And there's the reason why there's people helping us. It's the reason why it's so hard to get rid of us.
To some people, it seems like an issue that might never be solved. What do you think about that?
Well, those people, they need to take some iodine and some ginkgo biloba.
Any misconceptions about homeless people you'd like to clear up?
Yeah, they're not all drug addicts. Or I'll tell you what, let me change that. Y'all got a lot of fucking nerve calling these people drug addicts. When y'all do sugar, when y'all drink milk. You like sugar, you like milk. Those are dangerous drugs. Dangerous drugs. We're the only species on this planet that drinks another species' milk. Just remember, jealousy is only corrupted admiration.
What really needs to be
Fuck
talked about
does that
is
got to
this
do with
Trank
addiction?
situation.
What is he
Trank, I
talking
learned about that in Kensington, Philadelphia. It's coming
That don't
down
make
here to
any
DC
sense.
now.
Yeah, it's in DC. And as soon as they mix Trank with that food, there's going to be dying.
He lost me.
And Department of Human Services wants to worry about me living in a camp. You know, why don't you worry about what's about to happen? Tsunami of shit that's about to happen.
Why is the media not covering the opioid epidemic and the Trank epidemic? Not only can you not even get heroin anymore, you can't even get clean fentanyl anymore.
You know,
Bam! HelloFresh. Guys,
sheesh.
shrimp spaghetti with the kick is what we're going to make. You guys know that HelloFresh makes cooking.
and the thing about Trank is that they're like, oh, well, you can use Narcan. No, you can't. It's not opioid. The thing about Trank is that there is no counteragent.
What is something that could be done to help the homelessness situation? Like, are there any solutions? I know it's not an easy solution, but are there any solutions?
No. I'll be here to catch you when you get here.
Everyone's just a paycheck or two away, right?
Right. It's not just a mental health thing. It's not just a person is lazy. It's not just, it's a convolution of crap can just happen and you find yourself out here.
We're the richest poor people because you have organizations out here. Like right now, 4 o'clock, Miriam's. They have gourmet chefs that make food for the homeless.
Right now, we're on our way to Miriam's Kitchen. We're going to see if we can catch the dinner rush there, I suppose. How do you shower out here?
Well, there's some places that give showers, like Georgetown Main Street, take a shower there. I go to the pools.
The street noise. How do you sleep with such loud noise right by you in the middle of
I go to some places that give showers, like Georgetown Main Street, take a shower there.
Oh,
I go to the pools.
the street noise? How
He
do you
said
sleep with
Georgetown
such loud
Ministries.
noise right by you in the middle of the night?
You zone out. What came first, chicken and egg? Do I get fucked up because I'm an addict, or am I an addict because I'm out here?
We arrived at Miriam shortly after they had closed and spoke to a man about the dangers of getting caught up in this system.
You know, the biggest shelter in the world is what? The biggest shelter in the world is what? Welfare. Because you in a place that you cannot own. And then you in a household where there's a parent missing. So the last 2 weeks out of the month, there's no money.
Yeah, I want to say you can't even get assistance like that unless you a single mom or a single dad. I know my mom, she got all types of help because she was a single mom, you know. Now we had a stepdad, but he wasn't on the house, like on the lease or anything like that. Like he was in the picture without being in the picture, if that makes sense. Like nobody knew that he was living there. The only people that knew that he was living there was us and the family. But she got a whole bunch of help. Like we got food stamps and everything. You know, I can't really say what all she got because my mom was secretive. She was secret. She was a discreet person. Let me just say that. She didn't like to put her business out there or anything. She didn't like to let us know about anything going on with personal things that adults need to worry about as children. She just would I'm gonna shut up now.
Money, there's no food. Because some states don't have pantries where you can go get groceries. Just because you give a sandwich out or buy a bike, that's not helping. But a shelter is built for you to stay in there. Because after 90 days, they're supposed to put you in a place. But they don't. Even when you ain't there, they getting paid for that bed. As long as your name is in the system.
How do you think drugs get to the hood?
They getting paid for that bed.
Listen to
They
that.
don't have pantries where you can go get groceries. Just because you give a sandwich out or buy a bike, that's not helping. But a shelter is built for you to stay in there. Because after 90 days, they're supposed to put you in a place. But they don't. Even when you ain't there, they getting paid for that bed. As long as your name is in the system.
How do you think drugs get to the
Dang.
hood?
So
That's
government
crazy.
bring it. Because they want you to die instead of getting your money. And schools need to change their system. Because schools don't teach you responsibility when you were going through high school to be an adult. They teach you how to fail, man. The system is created to fall. It takes the young people like y'all to sit at a table with ideals that's gonna make things work.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
That no children or elderly will be outside. Right now, there's more children and more grandmothers on the street right now. And it ain't supposed to be like that.
So with the sun setting, we left Miriam's kitchen to look at one of the last remaining
I'm going to tell you 3 ways I use generative AI powered by Adobe Firefly to make my creative materials even better in Adobe.
park encampments, yet
Sorry
to be
about
cleared
the
out by
commercials,
MPS.
So yeah, this is Kennedy Center encampment.
I'm
Been around
gonna
for a good
work on
minute,
that.
but yeah, this is where people end up after like they do things like McPherson's. Quick close on McPherson. You know, again, what are we supposed to do? You know, where are we supposed to go? We're gonna end up on people's front lawns. Mayor Bauer did get that, $50 billion.
It's been kind of tough. They've been cutting my hours at work and stuff. I'm trying to find me a second job, to keep up with everything. Probably adulting. Gotta do what we gotta do, to survive.
From Biden, right? Why is it still happening?
So with that $50 billion grant, you see no difference whatsoever.
What's I've seen no difference in what they're doing.
Even with the ever-growing resources DC has for the homeless, the city's rates of homelessness have only climbed since last year.
After spending millions of dollars on shelters, housing, and vouchers, Mayor Bowser quietly released the results of the most recent point-in-time count for those experiencing homelessness in the nation's capital. For the first time since 20 count for those experiencing homelessness.
All right, so 2022, it went down 13.7%. But in 2023, it went up 11.6%. That's crazy. 4,922 people experiencing homelessness. That's just in Washington, D.C.
In the nation's capital. For the first time since 2016, the number of people living on the streets has gone up.
Is there any avenue for the homeless out here to make money? Just panhandling work? What are the alternatives?
Remember we were talking about this living in 4 different standards, dude. How do you save money when you're living in a day-to-day standard? You know, when you're living day-to-day, how do you plan for that?
Because you don't plan for your future if you're living like that, right?
If you don't have a future, why plan for it?
That's sad.
Isn't it though?
If you had one wish, what would it be?
That I wasn't here, that this wasn't happening. But it is, and I am. So making the best of it. That's what you can do. That's all you can do.
God bless you, brother.
All right, man.
What were your takeaways from today, Brandon?
For the general population, clearing places like McPherson Park seems to help the issue of homelessness, at least topically, right? But then when you go into these...
Bro, Tommy G and these damn crops.
McPherson Park seems to help the issue of homelessness, at least topically, right? But then when you go into these harder to find areas, you see that the homeless people are still here. They're just not in plain sight. So I guess that leaves the viewer to decide, like, is that good? Is that bad? I think it's good for the general population, but a lot of the homeless people seem to think it was a bad thing.
I think it's one of those issues that if this was happening in front of your apartment building, in front of your workplace...
Bro, I feel like they be trolling how they dress. Look at how bummy they look. Go around and hang with the homeless people and dress bummy. What is that? But I think that's a polo shirt, ain't it? I ain't really big on all that high fashion stuff. So that might look dressed down, but really that could be dressed up. Minus them shoes and that book bag.
There's feces, there's needles. You want it cleared out. I think that's undeniable. And anyone that says different, invite people over to live in your house and see how you feel. But the fact is, this is an issue that will never go away. As tough as this issue is, this seems the best way to handle it that I've seen so far. So I applaud Washington, D.C. I'm thankful we got to meet some of its citizens and people, and they got to tell our story. And happy that we got to have this experience.
And if you were happy to watch my recent collaborations with Tommy G, commemorate the
there you go.
experience by buying our Most Dangerous t-shirt collaboration, available right.
Anywho, that's it for the video. Deuces.